What's good, family? Smash the like button and subscribe. Wow. So, yesterday, your boy the YB exclusively reported some leaked information which I received at the early hours of Friday morning from one of my MTK sources. One of my sleeper cell donnies within MTK, close to Daniel L. TRAPAHAN Kinahan, said, listen, YB, Kinahan put the word out, he put the order in. I want all the Mark Tibbs bits, all the Mark Tibbs interviews removed. And that's why, if you look on the internet, if you look on YouTube, all the Mark Tibbs post-fight interviews, which are essentially exposés of Billy Ho Saunders, have now gone. IFL TV is gone. Behind the Gloves, Michelle Joy Phelps is gone. Radio Raheem, seconds out, is gone. You can't find it now. There's some goofy dons out there telling me, YB, you're blind, it's there. Other people uploading it, that's not the point. If you're sending me telling me, oh, YB, you lying, it's there, it's completely gone over your head what the point of this is. The point isn't whether it actually exists or not. I've got a copy myself. You might have seen the video. I reported on it or hours after the initial interview happened. The point is, why has it disappeared from the main channels? Since when does Mr. Views Coogan? We know these dons love views. They fiend for views. Since when does Mr. Views Coogan remove an interview, especially one that had 500,000 views? Never. He removed it because El Trapahan, otherwise known as Kinahan, put his foot down, put the order in. Yeah? Kinahan put the order in, no doubt. So there you've had the background. Mark Tibbs' interviews have been removed. And then today, like I said, that was yesterday. Today, I get another phone call from the same individual, the same source, one of my MTK insider donnies, who's close to Kinahan, El Trapahan, sorry, and he said, YB, things are getting real serious with this Mark Tibbs situation. Now we know also that Ben Davidson was wheeled out, so essentially they've deleted all the Mark Tibbs interviews, and also that was a post-fight interview for Mark Tibbs. Normally how it works is, okay, yeah, the fight happens, we have a short post-fight interview, which is usually 2 or 3 minutes, and then on the Sunday, they have the big sit down where everyone's at the hotel and everyone's, and that, you know what I'm saying? Normally on a Sunday there's a 20, 30, 40 minute video interview with the trainer post fight. Not there. And I'm hearing now from my MTK Donny, my MTK sleeper cell Donny, that they've put Mark Tibbs on the bench, like real on the bench, and told him, and listen, Kinahan told, El Trapahan, sorry, told him, you better sit down for a minute. You better sit down and be quiet. And that's why we ain't seen even a bit of Mark Tibbs. And instead, they wheeled out number one MTK shill, Ben Davidson, and we've seen what happened there. He was just gassing the place up. Oh, Billy makes everyone quit inspiring. Billy's made Floyd Mayweather quit inspiring. Billy's the hardest man since sliced bread. And we've heard it all from Ben Davidson, shilling the place up. Oh, Billy was shaking his head in protest of the fight being stopped. Billy wanted more. Billy's the only one to make Alvarez look silly. He made him look lost at times. Oh, Billy's, out of everyone Alvarez has fought, Billy needs a rematch because it was so close. He's definitely going to get the rematch because it was so close. That's Ben's line. Yeah, Mark Tibbs, meanwhile, can't no one find him. He gone, he missing. So on a serious note, yeah, before we get into today's video topic, I want to say that, genuinely, if anyone knows Mark Tibbs or anyone of his family, please someone put a wellness call in. If I knew where Mark Tibbs was, I'd pick the phone up myself and say, listen, I need to make a wellness call to the, you know what I'm saying? Pick the line up and say, listen, we need a wellness call for Mark Tibbs, because he missing right now. And that moves me on nicely, that segues me nicely onto today's video. You've seen by the title. I'm hearing again from one of my MTK, El Trapahan, sleeper cell dons, that El Trapahan putting the order in to remove interviews. That was stage one. The second stage was silencing Mark, and now he's missing. Now it's cancelling interviews. For those of you who don't know, the Spencer Oliver and Jake Wood, who's that don from... Spencer Oliver is a former fighter. Jake Wood is one of them EastEnders donnies. You know, he played Max in EastEnders. Max was with this fire lass as well. Early in EastEnders, Max, yeah, was with this fire young lassie. He was getting it in. Fair play to the cat. But either way, that's the podcast they have. A pretty big boxing podcast. Anyway, as is normal, this right here is traditional for interviews. Your fighters fight, you have a big fight, and then the week after, you do all the post-fight interviews. So Mark Tibbs was set up to do a whole load of post-fight interviews, one of which was with Jake Wood and Spencer Oliver on their podcast, Pound for Pound. Instead, just before the interview, within 24 hours before the interview, we get this message put out. Apologies, but due to unforeseen circumstances, Mark Tibbs has had to cancel his appearance on the podcast this week, working on another guest as we speak. This was last minute, so where is Mark? And what you'll notice is it says, Mark has had to cancel, but really, I'm hearing from people within the Pound for Pound podcast that it was Mark's representatives. No one ain't heard from Mark. Mark missing. And actually, one of Mark's representatives was MTK linked. So like I said, I'm hearing that Mark missing right now, for sure. He missing. Ain't no one seen Mark for a minute. Where's Mark at? We need to know. Hashtag where is Mark Tibbs at? Hashtag El Trapahan. Hashtag Cabal. Hashtag Spooky Cabal. There's been a lot of spooky things that's been going on. We've heard all the lies about his injuries with no evidence. Now we've got interviews dropping off. Because Mark Tibbs' interview was an expose. Mark Tibbs said, I asked Billy, do you want some more? No, no more. Billy, can you give me another round? No, no more round. Shook his head adamantly, didn't want no more. So as much as MTK Ultra, yeah, that's what this is going on right now. I've solved it. And shout out to the man in the comments who pointed this out perfectly. We talked about yesterday. They've got rid of all the evidence and they're wheeling out Ben Davidson to try and recreate history. It's called the Mandela effect. Or better yet, MK Ultra Donnies. Yeah? This is the MTK Ultra program. No doubt. They're trying to cook our minds and play all these sight games and fake news games until we can start believing it. MTK Ultra. The plan's exposed. The shadowy, spooky cabal. The thing is, I don't even blame the shadowy cabal. I don't even blame El Trapahan. It's not his fault. It's not his fault that he thought that everyone was low IQ. And I don't blame him, because if it weren't for the YB, no one would have noticed this. The YB's the only don to call it out. And now obviously everyone's hopping on the bandwagon. Oh, let's hop on that one. Not giving their props. The YB's the only one. You might as well call me Y. You know what I'm saying? Assange. Yeah? Julian YB. That's my name from now on. Call me Julian YB. That's what we do know. I'm out here leaking. And you best believe I've got some contacts in the Uruguay. What do they call it? In the Uruguay? Is it Uruguay? Ecuador. No, I got some contacts in the Ecuador embassy, and that's why your boy the YB is fixing to head. Because at the moment I'm trying to run. I've got a few little places still. Got a few undisclosed locations that I'm moving between at the moment, but I'm gonna need something stronger. Yeah, you man don't understand. This shadowy MTK Ultra Cabal, they're global. Why do you think they call it MTK Global? And I'm gonna need some diplomatic level protection here. It's not enough. My safe house basements ain't enough at this point. I'm gonna need a level higher. I'm gonna need diplomatic protection. So that's why my dons in Ecuador hold tight. I know obviously you man sold out, but still, I'm hearing that the Ecuadorians are kind of trying to repent. They sold out Julian Assange. Now they see your boy the YB doing similar things, and they said, you know what, YB, listen, yeah, we bottled it, we sold Assange out, but we're fixing to make amends now. Assange is cooked, yeah, they've got Assange in Belgrade and he ain't going nowhere. So better yet, what we'll do is we'll save you instead. Come through and you can post up here. So now I'm on the verge of having to do that. Yeah? Quite a few of my mans have ended up missing, just like Mark has. I've got a few man within my little set, within my sleeper cell set, and the man ain't responding to the WhatsApp no more. And the reason we use WhatsApp is encrypted. Yeah? You best believe. Encrypted. MTK Global, MTK Ultra Global, they doing the most right now. El Trapahan, he putting orders in. Where's Mark? Yeah? At this point, I had to actually cancel my sleeper cell don. I told him, listen, you man best lay low now. You man best start laying low. Otherwise, you're fixing to get Mark Tibbs. Yeah? Let's not make this a thing. Because what I'm hearing is, this is hashtag Mark Tibbs. Don't get Mark Tibbs. Yeah? You don't want to end up getting Mark Tibbs. Where's he at? Don't no one know. He's missing right now. Not even turning down interviews. His representatives contacting people. Where's Mark? Where is he? Mark is a solid individual. I've never seen a solid individual like Mark having to act scary for no one. Why is he acting scary for? Hasn't it? Since when has Mark turned down an interview? Since when has Mark turned down the truth? And fair play to him. Yeah. People are saying, well, YB, he's not been told to sit down. He's not missing. The MTK Ultra Cabal haven't got him. Listen. Much like Billy Ho's evidence of being damaged, where's the evidence of Mark? We need a wellness check. Seriously. Mark Tibbs needs a wellness check. Because his things ain't looking hella spooky right now. It's like they're trying to cover Mark up completely. And the next thing we know, they're going to be all pictures of Mark are just going to disappear off the internet. And they're going to tell us, oh, well, Mark who? Yeah? You'll see Eddie on the next interview and people will say, oh, Eddie, how's Mark Tibbs doing? And he'll say, Mark who? They're trying to wipe him completely. I'm telling you now, they're trying to wipe Mark Tibbs off the map. And they're going to convince us he never existed. Well, Mark? Huh? You know how to know who that is. So, end of the day, man, I'm bringing you, man, the news at great risk. The truth, however, will set you free. End of the day, this right here, on a serious note, is not a good look. You got people actively trying to shut down the truth. And it's quite scary, you know, because we've heard that El TRAPAHAN has been associated with boxing. We haven't seen much of the negatives until now. Now we're seeing, it's one thing to delete interviews. It's another thing now to be actually impeding people's actions. Pulling an interview is one thing from the internet. It's another thing now to be stepping in and telling, oh, you can't go onto the podcast. You can't talk about what happened on the podcast. Think about it. Mark Tibbs booked this for a reason. Mark Tibbs didn't book the interview for nothing. He planned on win or lose, obviously, because you don't know you're going to win or lose. And also going in there against Alvarez, the chances are Mark knew Billy was probably going to lose against Alvarez. So he still booked the interview. The interview's been booked for months. So it's not like, oh, well, YB, he lost and things all changed. No. He planned, win or lose, to go on that interview with Pound for Pound podcast. Now we hear he's missing. Now we hear he ain't turning up. And what's scary about this is, you see the way the wording is, we're working on another guest as we speak. Because it was late notice. This was a shock. This wasn't, oh, well, he gave us a week notice. MTK put the order in. Late before the day before. Yeah? MTK, your boy El TRAPAHAN put the order in. Yeah? They rang up and said, listen, Mark won't be attending. Boom. And that was the end of that. But other people ain't asking deeper questions. Where's Mark? Why can't Mark speak for himself? Yeah? It's sounding to me like they've got Mark posted up in MTK... Listen. They've got Mark posted up in MTK... I can't even say it. I was going to try and mix MTK and Guantanamo. MT Quamago. They've got him locked up, yeah, in MT Quamago. That's where they've got him posted up. MTK, yeah, got their own little version of Guantanamo Bay. That's what we do know. And they've got him posted up there. So I'm just trying to tell you, man, right now, he needs a wellness check. Seriously. Listen, all jokes aside right now. Mark Tibbs needs a wellness check. Because this shadowy cabal, and you best believe as well, I'm putting it out there right now. I'm not, listen, your boy the YB, yeah? I'm not on no SUICIDE. So if I end up, you know what I'm saying? You know it weren't me. Yeah? I eat no goofy foods. None of that goofy stuff. Me and Mark, we ain't on them kind of things. So if you see Mark in his, you know what I'm saying? If you see Mark hanging in his cupboard, you know what it is. If you hear about, oh, the YB, you know, he's young and he was in the basement and he was depressed. No, wrong. You're lying. They're lying to you. Yeah, don't believe it for a second. Don't believe it for a second. No doubt. Hashtag, get on Twitter, at Eddie Hearn, at El TRAPAHAN, at MTK, where is Mark Tibbs? Yeah? Because at the moment, it's looking kind of peak right now. Hashtag, don't get Mark Tibbs. Mark Tibbs has become his own, whatever that word is. Because man, they're getting Mark Tibbs right now. You best believe. And the YB's next, no doubt.